So, Venus is in Taurus, marking the beginning of a stellium in Taurus that's going to be lasting, I believe, until the first week of May or so, definitely for the next couple weeks. Venus is conjunct Uranus in Taurus. Uranus in Taurus is, goodness, it being square Saturn in Aquarius has been quite the... It's shaken things up greatly. Stability, economy, so much that we took for granted before has now been put into a state of growth, a state of flux. And that's not bad. For some people, especially for people who have a lot of Taurus, this can be very frustrating, especially this last year, can feel very much like an earthquake. And that's never appreciated by people with Taurian energies. But, you know, I think actually, off the top of my head, I have a friend who's a Taurus who's been in a long-term relationship who's reached this serious point in his life where he's like, I don't know if this is actually what I need. And he's always been very focused on relationships, rising Libra, sun in the house of Libra, but even just being a Taurus, being focused on the relationship is a key part of what being a Taurus is all about. And so this has actually been a really wonderful time period for him, and again, for Taurians in general, for all of us in general, but focusing specifically for those who have a lot of Taurus. And it's true for everybody, so everybody could get something from this, but this has been a really wonderful opportunity for him to really take stock, to not worry about loss or being alone or anything like that, and just to stay focused on, what do I need? Simple, what do I need? Taurus is that energy that, again, we all have all of the different energies, so we can learn from we all do learn from, well, we should be. Ideally, we're all learning from all of the different energies and the different transits and whatnot. Just being born in the same solar system, we're surrounded by the same regions of space, we're all influenced by these different energies, at least as per the house cusp, let alone having, usually people have a diverse range of astronomical placements. So this is a time where a lot has been put into flux just in general, and now, based off of Uranus being square Saturn, and now we are moving into a time where the personal planets, Venus, Mercury, as well as the Sun, are being conjunct, or just about to be conjunct Uranus. Sun enters Taurus in 2 days' time, just about, and Mercury roughly around that same time. So this is going to be definitely different phases, and we're going to have to exposit it one step at a time. But before we even get into the Venus conjunct Uranus thing, I want to get into the really the positive part, and on a microcosmic and macrocosmic scale, so on a personal as well as a societal, a collective scale, of what these squares with Uranus and Saturn and Uranus and Jupiter offer us. So we've covered how it's been a bit destabilized, but what we haven't covered is Jupiter also being in Aquarius. Now, yes, Jupiter will move into Pisces for like, I think a couple weeks within the next maybe month and a half or so. But ultimately, we have Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius for the vast majority of this year. We also have Saturn in Aquarius for next year and the first half of 2023. Jupiter being in Aquarius is giving all of us a really wonderful opportunity to redefine who we are as individuals. I remember it was 12 years ago with the exact same transit of Jupiter in Aquarius where I finally realized, you know, I don't want to go this direction with my life career-wise. People had been saying, oh, you should go in a political direction. You were student body president. Oh yeah, he's going to be a senator. And I was like, I don't want to do that. No, I want to connect with people. That's why I did that student council thing. I need to play music. I need to write songs with my friends and tour the world and also and be surrounded by people in that context and playing shows, especially big shows, but just shows in general. So, and that was a huge shift. I mean, that was already on my mind, but that was when it really clicked. And I think this is what we have available to us now, is this Jupiter and Aquarius energy is helping all of us through this kind of destabilizing time period to really focus on, who am I as an individual? What do I need Just like, again, the Taurus, my friend, that Taurus theme of need. What do I need? How can I restructure my life? This is a beautiful opportunity. This is actually one of the best opportunities to restructure our lives in a really powerful way, to bring out our individual self more consciously to ourselves and to express it to the outside world, for opportunities to arise through this. Now, again, this is not a deadline. We don't have to worry. There's no need for anxiety with transits, but at the same time, we can't be passive. These things don't just happen. We need to work with these energies. Of course, certain things just do happen in life, but ultimately, if we're going to chart our course, like this great opportunity is offering us, it's like a brand new ship and compass for each one of us in our lives. Like, okay, go wherever you want, do whatever you want. Like, whoa. We need to be putting forth that effort. And I think, going back to the Taurus energy, that's what this stellium is all about. Venus conjunct Uranus, we'll get to in just a second. That's what's going on right now. But I think with the sun in particular, Mercury as well, these transits are the ones where the major shifts happen. Because, okay, so Venus is about relationships, right? It's about how we give and receive love, our relationship to pleasure, especially when Venus is in Taurus. Some people are going to be, again, there's so many different ways these things can manifest, but ultimately it's the same kind of realm, the same kind of theme. Some people will realize what was making me happy before or giving me pleasure before isn't giving me pleasure anymore. What do I need to do to revamp my relationship to pleasure? Some people are going to be hitting rock bottom as per addiction during this time. Good, very good. From rock bottom you can grow. I think other people will feel like it's rock bottom in terms of relationships. Now, I don't wish, again, there's no need to ever fear with these things. It's just a river. We're seeking to flow with it. This transit of Uranus and Venus conjunct each other is going to make good relationships even better. It might be a little bit rocky. It is a little bit of a shaking of the foundation. You might wonder, is this, where are things? Is it stable? Is it not? That which is meant to be in terms of, meant to be, not like, oh, it's meant to be. Like, on a more practical level, in my studies of relationships, what is meant to be is just the right temperament. So the MBTI, or the Myers-Briggs system, is extremely helpful for understanding that. The overall personality of a person, as well as looking at the astrology of, okay, are there partner placements, are there trine energies, are the pros outweighing the cons in terms of the relationship? I think a lot of people during this time with Uranus conjunct Venus are really looking at that, because the relationships are kind of up in the air, in a sense. I don't think that's the best way. It's like more like an earthquake. It's like, okay, what's stable? What structure will hold? And yes, what is stable will hold, and again, will get even better. And I think that's really one of the best things about this. Any transit with Uranus, including the Sun and Mercury going into that conjunction, within the next couple of days, and lasting really for the next month. Even if it's not a tight conjunction, they're still going to be in the same region of space known as Taurus. The Sun and Mercury and Uranus. Venus will be there for about 3 weeks or so. So, again, I think the summary of all of this is, what do I need and how do I need to grow to fulfill what I need? And be open to the answer. Don't cling, don't hold on. I think we've seen over this last year what happens when we do cling and try to hold on to that which is not meant for us, the person that's not meant for us, the place, the job, the home, whatever it might be. I think we've seen over this last year through Uranus' is influence, especially Uranus and Taurus, but Uranus in general. I think we've seen how anything can happen in life. Nobody knew. Jupiter and Saturn are in Cap. Okay, I understand this is going to be very challenging in certain ways for humanity. I had no idea it was going to be a coronavirus pandemic. There's always new surprises for all of us. Even those of us who study astrology and look at the general themes that are going to be present, it's hard to know. It's impossible in a sense to really know exactly what's going to happen. That's beautiful. It's a mystery of life. It's wonderful. But I think that's a good lesson to keep that in mind, of anything can happen, and that means positive or challenging. So don't get stuck, whether it's, again, a relationship, a job, location, an attitude, a belief system, habits. Make sure you're moving forward. This is what the next month is about. It's going to be very strange, because in a sense, it's a very calm energy. It's Taurus energy. It's the most grounded. It's the heart of nature. It's fixed earth energy, But Uranus is present. So there's going to be earthquakes. Things that seemed really stable are going to fall. But if it falls, then it's meant to fall. No astronomical event should ever be seen as, oh God, this is just out to get me. No, it's not. They're just vibrations, just inanimate objects, conduits of energy for us as conscious beings. And ultimately, everything that happens does have a reason. And if we're in tune with our most basic needs, then we see, I'm glad that fell apart. I didn't need it. Now I have space and time to create exactly what I need. So, again, it can be a bit challenging. Earthquakes are not necessarily pleasant, especially for individuals with a lot of earth energy. But, and I'm not suggesting actual earthquakes, by the way. Certainly, hope not. I just mean metaphorical. Probably should have clarified that in the beginning. Hopefully that was clear. But we do get to see what's rotten, at its core, what foundation is not solid and good for the future, and what can be built in its place what's rotten and also what's sturdy. And again, for that which does fall apart, we can build in its place. I think that's the major stuff. One last thing, for the next, I think it's like the next, maybe it's even the next week and a half or so, we have Mars in Gemini, and we've had this for the last 5 weeks or so. Something that's really helpful from personal experience, just 2 days ago, I ended up impromptu waiting for an oil change, walking 5.5 miles, and it was incredibly enlightening, incredibly spiritually enlightening and helpful, just walking through the city. And it helped me tremendously with some things that I had been really dealing with as per anxiety. Mars in Gemini is a very anxious energy, especially those of us who have a lot of Gemini. Looking at my chart, with the transits, and it's like Mars is right on my Sun and my Mercury. So, but for all of us, we're experiencing this Mars and Gemini together. So, go for long walks where you can think. That's a really important thing. And I think especially when things seem to be falling apart, get out of the norm. Just go for a nice calm walk. I think especially this weekend, that can be really helpful, really lovely. As always, I'm doing readings. Feel free to get in contact with me. Infinite love to you, my friends. Namaste.